what's a sales page, what is a landing page, what is a checkout page, and how is that different from a website. And that's exactly what we are going to clear today. I'm actually planning this for I'm planning this to make it a 7-day series. You might have seen it in my live section where I have scheduled for 7 live days. But for the topic of each day, I'm going to go with the flow. So if you have any recommendations while you're watching and asking me questions, interacting with me in these live streams, you can suggest which topic you want me to cover and teach in the subsequent live series. Today, it's going to be about sales page, but tomorrow, I've already decided I want to talk about YouTube for course creators because that's another hot topic that I'm noticing among my one-to-one clients, where the way we approach YouTube is very different as a course creator than how other creators on YouTube are using this platform. So that's why I want to address that tomorrow. And basically, each and every topic that I talk about here on my YouTube channel are all inspired by the one-to-one client work that I do. I have been in the coaching and course creation industry for 8 years now, and in these 8 years, I have worked with over 100 clients in different capacities. Like some of them, I was their marketing consultant, strategist. Some of them, I set up their courses, the tech part of the back end of their courses, and of course, also their social media, YouTube, Instagram, all of that. And I'm going to, on this channel, share anything and everything that I know about this industry, and also give you updates about working with my clients, because I still work with one-to-one clients. And while working one-to-one, there's a lot of new insights that come up about this industry. I think this course creation and coaching industry is evolving very rapidly. It's a new industry. Some people call it e-learning industry, some people call it coaching industry, course creation industry. There are various names how people recognize this industry, but basically, I believe that this is something, this industry of coaching and course creation, if you really go back and see when it originated, it's basically got into, officially came into being from 1994, which is my birth year. And even then, in the initial stages, because I am an ICF certified coach as well, and this is something that I learned while I was learning for my ICF ACC badge. In the first 10 years of coaching industry, I mean, the everyone was still figuring out how this is different from e-learning, how this is different from counseling, coaching, because all that the kind of coaching that was prominent that time was sports coaching, and mainly sports coaching and medical coaching. Like if you medical coaching came mostly in the zone of therapy and counseling, but it still had some demarcation, some distinction between counseling and coaching at that time before 1994. But in sports, it was purely coaching. Beyond these two zones, coaching was not prominent anywhere else. We had school classrooms, college classrooms, but nothing more than that. It was only after the 2000s when this industry started picking up. And now, after COVID, like after 2019, this industry is rapidly picking up. But one good thing, and also sometimes bad thing, that happens because of this rapid expansion is a lot of things change in this industry. A lot of things, a lot of strategies that used to work even 3 years ago may not work now. But some things do remain common, which I also address, which is community building, solving real problems of people through your course, your experience, your coaching. So these will always remain intact no matter how much this industry changes. And even what I'm going to cover today about sales page, like the techniques of how a sales page should be created for a course creator in order to attract your dream clients who are going to benefit from your offer, is basically is going to remain same forever, because these fundamentals are going to remain same for years to come, which is why these live streams that I'm going to have for the next 7 days are going to cover these fundamentals. So let's dive into sales page. And today I'm going to cover, initially, say what's a sales page. Basically, sales page is essentially, you can say, it's a web page. It's a page on the web that is created with the intention to sell something, which is why the name sales page. When you have an intention to sell something on that page, anything and everything that you put on that page, the content, images, and even the design, the length of the page, all of that is curated keeping the sale in mind. Like what you are selling, to whom are you selling that product or that offer, all of that is put on that web page, keeping in mind your offer and who is likely going to buy your offer. And that is essentially what is a sales page. Now, how is that different from a website? A website is basically a collection of many web pages. A website has a home page, a website has about me page, a website has contact page, blog, and it's basically like a collection of many web pages. It's kind of like, you can say, you live in a society with many buildings in it. The society is website, but this one building which has various apartments in that one building is basically your sales page, because that building has basically specific floors, and each floor has specific apartments. So you can say a sales page is that one building in a society. The society, which has many buildings, is a website, because a website has many pages. It can actually have unlimited pages. Your website is basically a collection of anything and everything you do under your brand, which is your media personality, your speaking sessions, even these YouTube videos, podcast episodes, blog, everything comes under your website. But when you create a sales page, it's just one web page with the intention to sell something to a specific ideal client profile. So I hope that is clear. If you have any questions, you can ask me in chat here. Apart from that, let's talk about how is a sales page different from a landing page. A landing page is, again, a landing page is where, now this is where I believe, my this is my perspective and my definition. A landing page is where your viewer or your audience lands on a web page, and it's up to you to direct them towards something, to some free offering. It could be a sign up. They're signing up for your free PDF guide, for example, or they are booking a free consultation call with you, or they're basically on that landing page. They are seeing a series of your YouTube videos. Like, I could put these 7 days of live YouTube videos on a landing page and put that on my website. So landing page is one page as a subset of your entire website. And that one landing page normally will have something for free, because if the landing page is selling something, it becomes a sales page. So sales page is not very different from a landing page. A sales page is essentially a landing page, except that sales page is selling something, and a landing page is giving you a free offering or a direction to something free. Either the free offering could be a PDF guide, or it could be book a call, like a free consultation call, or it's directing you towards something valuable, like these YouTube series or podcast episodes. So that's the basic definition. That's the basic difference between a sales page and a landing page. Now let's talk about what's a checkout page. Sometimes people get confused between this two. I would say, okay, if there is an umbrella, the bigger umbrella is a landing page. The landing page will basically direct people to some offer, most likely a free offer. If this landing page is directing the viewer to something paid, like a paid offer, that becomes a sales page. So that sales page is the lower umbrella than the landing page. Now, in this sales page, where you have all of the details of your paid offer, you are basically writing the features, promises, transformation, and everything that basically a prospect needs to know before they buy your offer is on the sales page. Now below the sales page will come your checkout page. Checkout page is literally like if you've bought any product on an e-commerce website. It's basically you check out, you add something to the cart and you check out. That is a checkout page. It doesn't give you much information. It just gives you maybe 3 or 5 bullet points before you buy. Sometimes not even bullet points. Sometimes it just tells you maybe 1 or 2 testimonials to encourage you to not abandon the cart, basically not get out of that checkout page without buying. So the checkout page is essentially created for you to give your payment details, where you put in your card details, you put your shipping address. In this case, because it's a digital product, most likely you'll not add your shipping details, but you may add your tax ID, you may add your contact details and your card payment details. So a checkout page is made basically with that intention, and along with that, sometimes for marketing perspective, we also add certain guarantees like 30 days guarantee, some testimonials, or secure checkout terms and conditions. Basically, sometimes this is something that I do recommend in course and coaching industry, where your checkout page must have a waiver agreement, where before someone buys your product, they basically quickly go through your agreement terms and conditions, so that there is no confusion later on. This is why I like Kajabi, because the checkout pages in Kajabi have specifically an option for you to add an agreement below your checkout button, where people are not able to pay before they agree to your terms and conditions. So this reduces a lot of friction later on, again, because you are in a digital space where you're selling a digital product. And while you're selling this digital product, we don't want disputes later on about, did the customer get everything they promised, or what the refund structure looks like, or how many deliverables or how many modules were they supposed to get. We don't want these disputes in the future, which is why there is this agreement section that is added on your checkout page. If your platform, whichever platform you're using, if it doesn't have this waiver agreement on your checkout page, I highly recommend you add it on your own. Otherwise, if you're using Kajabi, you'll automatically have it on your checkout page. So that's the basic difference between website, which is like, I would say, a higher umbrella. Under website comes your landing page, which is basically one web page under your website. And this landing page most likely will direct people to something that's free. It doesn't sell anything. And under this landing page comes a sales page, which is selling something, an offer, and has all the details that a prospect needs to know about an offer that you're selling, so that they can make their buying decision. Because any customer, before buying something, they need some data, they need some information before buying. So everything they need to know about your offer and then reach a buying decision should be there on your sales page. I think in one of these live streams, I would be happy to also include what all I recommend you should have in your sales page, like what components or elements you should have in your sales page, so that so that you don't miss out on some important elements that I believe should be there in your sales page. If you want that, you can comment below, and I'll see which of the 7 days I can add that in. And then, coming from sales page comes a checkout page. A checkout page is specifically for checkout. It's basically, the name gives it all. It's basically for your customer to put in their payment details, agree to your terms and conditions, and have a quick look at basically your reviews or the final features of your offer, and give their contact information and check out. That's it. So that is a very, I hope this is a very succinct way of explaining what these pages are. And your main focus as a course creator and a coach who's under $100,000 revenue in a year, your main focus should be on improving your sales page. Because out of all of these pages that I discussed today, your sales page is going to be the most important page that you'll create for enrolling your clients into your program, your group program, or your course, or any of your coaching or course creation program. Your sales page is going to be the most important component out of all of these pages. So that's why when I start working with a client who's absolutely new in the coaching and course creation industry, what I do, and they want to sell a course or a coaching offer, my first step for them, my first recommendation for them, is to build a community. So I help them build a community on YouTube and even on other social media platforms if that's what they prefer. But I recommend YouTube because I believe the long form content that you create on YouTube helps you attract your best possible dream clients for your offer. And you also get a lot of feedback, because building community on YouTube gives you a lot of feedback on the kind of coaching offer you want to create. Because just me sitting over here with my client, we can come up with 100 ideas of what kind of coaching or course offer we can launch. But we won't know which one would work unless we have tested the demand for it. And how do you test the demand for a specific offer? Is by having a community. So when you've built a community, you can test this idea in your mind, if that idea is viable idea or not. And this is where market product fit comes in. You have an idea for a coaching offer or a course, and you know it's going to be excellent for your dream clients. They're going to get a lot of results and transformation by going through this offer. And it's great. You, as an expert, you know this is important. But you're not sure if this is going to sell. You're not sure if your people, your audience, or your community members have realized the need for your offer yet. Because a lot of times, especially with coaches and course creators, you guys are thought leaders, and thought leaders are many times ahead of their times. So, and what happens because of this, your audience many times have not realized the need for your offer, or they may have realized, they're just not highly motivated for it yet. And I'm not saying that you need to convince them, or you need to motivate them to realize that they need your offer. I'd never suggest that, no. But you do need to create specific content on your platform, which is, I recommend, YouTube, where you walk them on a journey. Basically, you take them on a journey of understanding their problem, realizing how they can solve their problem, and basically get to their dream state. Everyone has desires, every problem has a dream state that we want to achieve. And once you're able to fill this gap with your content, you've basically built yourself a community of people who are going to ask you questions, who are going to look up to your expertise, who are going to follow your thought leadership, your ideologies. And these are the people who are also going to help you test your offer, your new offer that you're going to launch. And I'm telling you, once you have built this community, and then you basically, then you launch a course or a coaching program, it's guaranteed to be successful. A lot of times when I hear coaches and course creators, when they say that they launched an offer and it made zero sales, they put so much hard work in it, in recording course modules, and it made zero sales at the end of the day, 99.99% of the times, I'm telling you, it happened because they have not built an aligned community. If they would have built an aligned community where their community members already resonate with their message, their mission, sales would not have been a problem, because they would have already, this coach would have launched an offer that people are already asking for. So I always, when I work with my clients, I always first tell them to build a community. And then once they've built a community, they you ask feedback from your community members about how, what is the best way you can help them reach a certain result. For example, in I do a lot of one to one work right now. I'm planning to launch a group program in the near future. The first thing that I want to ask my community members is, what kind of results you want from your course creation journey from me, because my one to one clients have worked with me for a long time now. And when I ask them for data, they can tell me that, oh yeah, I guess I need help with my YouTube content, or I guess I need help with my tech setup in Kajabi, or I guess I need help with my sales page, for example. That gives me a lot of data, and the more number of people come and give me that kind of feedback, it becomes easier for me to put together an offer and then launch that offer to an already demanding audience, where I don't have to worry, oh my god, I'm launching this offer, is it going to sell or not. I don't have to worry about that, because I already have feedback and demand from my community members. In fact, I have feedback from my clients who are working one to one with me. I'm just thinking of creating that into a group program. And that is exactly what I recommend for my clients and my students too, where you don't have to launch like put all of the hard work for hours and hours, and then you're launching something to an empty audience. I would not want you to take that risk. Why would you take that risk? In fact, I would suggest utilize all of that energy, time, and your bandwidth and resources and build a community first. And once you've built a community, then test your course idea or your coaching idea and offer. That's the second step. So, first step is build community. Second step is test your idea, the idea that you have for your course or your coaching offer with that community. And then the third step is what I've taught today, the sales page. Because once you have tested the demand or feedback for your course or your offer, then comes the selling part. Then comes the part where you are going to make actual sales and sell an offer. Now, this offer could be a group coaching offer. This could be a course where you are delivering certain modules to your clients, or it could even be one-to-one coaching. It doesn't really have to be pre-recorded. And these are just lot. This is not an exhaustive list. There are many, many ways you can launch an offer to an already built community. This is just like some of the examples that came on the top of my mind. But all you have to do is basically the first step towards selling after you've built a community and you've tested your idea is you need a sales page, which is what we started this whole live video with. What is a sales page? What do you need in a sales page? And I'll probably go more in detail in one of my other live stream days. But now you understand that the website doesn't even come in the first three steps of your course creation or your or launching your course. So far, we have covered the first three steps of building and launching your course, and website has not even come in the scene yet. I'm not saying websites are not needed. They're absolutely needed. They're amazing to build your authority, your brand, and also to increase your sales, because when you have a website, people are more aware of your message, your mission, and what truly you're offering, who you are, because the website gives them kind of like a summary of everything that you stand for and your brand stands for. But this is where it gets tricky. Most people make this mistake. You don't have to focus on brand building until you've built a community. A website is a tool for building brand. A community is something that builds your thought leadership, which should come before building your brand. And that is why I said the first step towards building and launching your course should be building a community, and second should be testing your offer or your course idea within that community. And then your third step is basically creating a sales page where you are selling an actual offer, the offer that you tested in that community. This is literally the way you guarantee sales on your course. If you do this, there is no way where you're going to basically launch to zero audience or zero sales. I cannot believe that's possible. You may have fewer sales than you expect, or you may have way more sales than you expect, which is what happened with me in 2021 when I sold my copywriting program to my audience. I was not expecting 26 people to buy my program, but it worked well because before I sold to them, I had built my community. I had taken feedback from my community and actually changed my course idea 3 days before launching that course because of the feedback I got from my community members. And that is why it became so successful. It was a successful launch because I did these steps that I'm talking about over here. So yeah, that's it for today. If you have any questions, drop it in the comment section. I'm also going to have a call link in the description here if you're interested in speaking with me one to one on what are the ways you can work with me in building and launching your course or your coaching offer. I would be very happy to talk with you. So I have my calendar link in the description below, which you can use to book a call with me. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow.